Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Sam Bishon here at the Ace Bodies Podcast. Now, today we got a very special guest, one of my business partners, social media influencer, real estate agent. She wears many hats. Shaquila here. So, I'm going to let her tell you a little bit more about herself, and then we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of today's episode. So, Shaquila, I would love to give you the floor. I would love for you to tell the people who are you? What do you love about the fitness industry in comparison to our business relationship? And what do you love about the real estate industry in comparison to, just the network that you've accumulated thus far and like how you started to build your name?
Okay. Hi, everyone. As Sam said, I'm Shaquila. I love the fitness industry because, well, I love fitness, period, because fitness is one of the things that just transformed my life. I think at the lowest point of my life is when I started to like really take my fitness serious, and it has just kind of transferred, throughout my entire area, like different areas of my life, even business as well. So as far as the real estate space goes, it's very lucrative, as we know, real estate, right? So I recently became an agent like last November. So I'm pretty new.
Fresh.
Fresh,
Okay.
right. But I knew right out the gate that I had to do things differently. So I wasn't going to be the agent that's just like trying to, you know, well, I mean, you have to start somewhere, but I really wanted to separate myself. So I was like, coming right out the door, I'm going to market. Like, I know I need to build like a platform where people know who I am.
Yeah.
And so, like, I just did an interview too, not too long ago, and he asked me something similar as far as like the bold statement of my name as a seven-figure realtor. And I'm like, well, I just have like, I guess, big dreams and big goals. So I was like, seven-figure realtor, and that's my aim. I don't do one thing, like you said. I do wear many hats, but fitness and real estate to me, it's just a part of my life, right? The
Facts.
fitness space is just what I do every day. I get up and I work out, and I love to help people to get on that space because I know what it has done for my life. And a lot of the discipline really goes back into my real estate business as well.
Fire. Yeah, one of the dope things I like that you said about your like the just your path with real estate was that you'll go to the networking events at a really nice house just to meet other realtors. Sometimes people are just showing up to see the house and see how they can compete to sell it, but you're showing up to say like, who can I collab with? Like, who can I grow and get better with? And that's a beautiful mindset to have because not a lot of people go into the entrepreneur mindset with, all right, let me share some gems. Let me
Right.
drop something off to somebody else.
Exactly.
They hopping into it like, all right, me. Let me get the goal and let me keep it for myself. And
Yeah.
we don't realize how much that hinders our growth when we're holding the secrets and holding the gems. So just the fact that you went into it with that, like, what kind of sparked the notion of you thinking more on the networking side rather than just think on this? Let me think money, or sell houses. Like, what kind of got you to that mindset?
Well, I mean, I did. Thank you, by the way.
Yeah, that's fire.
I did do a little bit of insurance, and I just knew right out the gate, like, marketing is more than just like what you have to offer. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, what you have to offer is great because you want to add value, and I feel like that's the name of the game. But it's not just adding value to yourself. You know what I mean? Because you never know who you might meet that could just
Exactly.
completely change the game for you, right? So I just kind of took on. To answer your question, I don't know exactly where it came from. I just knew I wanted to get into the spaces where people who were willing to share, because I was always a person willing to share. I just feel like, there's enough room for more for all of us. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
facts.
And if you get into a space where you're willing to share and people are willing to share with you, then you guys can go far. You know what that saying? You could go, what is it? Far by yourself, or you
go,
could you could go fast by yourself, but you could go far with others.
Yes.
Yeah, something like
With the
that.
team,
But
yes, I
yeah,
love it.
something like that. But that was my whole like mindset. You know what I mean? Just to really, really connect with good people like you. Like how we met is even crazy, right? Because I just went to a
Right.
networking event, completely separate from me thinking I was walking into this. Met someone, then I met you, and it was just like these are the type of things that are important. It's a relationship business.
Very
Everything
true.
is really
Very
a
true.
relationship business if you think about it, especially if you're looking to do long term in anything, not just real estate, but entrepreneurship.
I feel that. In the same way with me meeting Kim and Isaac, it was through a third party reaching out to me via somebody they met. So I didn't even like physically meet them at the point that they reached out to me.
Wow.
So Corinne,
Yeah.
she met a trainer I used to train with, and at Raw Fitness, and she was talking to him about the opportunity, and we'll get into the opportunity later in the episode. But we talked about the opportunity, and he was like, "Bro, when she was talking to me about it, you were the first and only person I thought of."
Wow.
He's like, "I have to get you in contact with them." So at this time, I was back in Maryland for my grandmother's funeral, God rest her soul.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, man, it was just crazy. So I get a text from her. It's a long text, and I'm reading it, and I'm like, yeah, like I'll get to it another time. It's completely slips my mind, and then I come back to Vegas, and I get invited to a networking event at Too Good.
Yeah.
And
that was the first. Too Good was her spot.
They have Nutrition House, which is in Henderson, attached to the Bikini Fitness.
Right.
And they have Too Good, which is separate from Bikini Fitness, but it's close.
Close, yeah.
And that's Too Good on the over in the Summerlin. But I go in there, and then I meet Isaac, and he's talking to me like, bro, like you will be great for this opportunity. And there's him telling me that he thought of me first, which was James, my guy James. It was Corinne reaching out to me. It was Isaac me. It was just so much confluence that I had to say like, there's something about this opportunity that makes me have to be here.
Right.
Like the universe put me here. So I couldn't say no to the opportunity because it's just how strong all the signs came for me.
Right.
So, and then fast forward into now, like it helped me out a lot because I was always looking for ways to kind of not escape fitness, but escape the route that I chose to be in fitness.
Yeah.
Like I always thought just hard work, hard work. I grew up thinking hard work, hard work, hard work, watching people in my family, hard work, hard work. And I have a lot of smart workers in my family, a lot of 50-50 hard and smart. But it's a time and place where you got to realize, but like you can make it 100% smart work. You don't have to work hard.
Yeah.
And me undoing my paradigm of how hard work should actually look or how hard work should work, like put me into a space where I'm meeting people who work smarter and not harder. And you're an example of that. Like,
oh, wow.
all
I appreciate that.
Yo, seriously, you'll be like, yo, the one thing I appreciate is I got my time. Like,
my time.
You don't talk about nothing else making you happy that you like, I do this, but I have my time. That's all that matters. I'm like, damn, like, I not envy that, but I admire the fact that you found that space. And it's like, that means that for me, that's confirmation that I'm getting closer because I'm meeting more people like that. So it's just super dope. It's super dope. So I appreciate you being around. No, seriously, like it's not a lot of good people in Vegas. Love is another one. Shout out.
Her name.
Yep.
Says it all.
You know what I'm saying? Well, we was in a gym training. We had a funny thing going, but I can't. It was crazy. We're gonna get it. But something I want to really talk about now. Two things actually. How did your social media page grow to such a capacity that it's at now? Like, I see a lot of people giving you accusations of BBLs. I see that, like, and you show me the before and afters of how you progressed and grown your legs. You've dropped a lot of gems on me. Like, I do this to focus on this. I do this to, like, I want you to clear that notion up for people. Like, how I see how hard you work, but let them know how hard you actually work on building and shaping your legs, and let them know how possible it is in a true duration of progress that they should be looking for. A lot of people have that twisted in the game, but I want them to hear from somebody who's grew like her legs the way she wants, who has followed protocol after protocol throughout her path with it, and I want you to clear up a lot of misconceptions that come along with that.
Absolutely.
Can you do that for the people?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
First things first, I feel like a lot of people get into, like, from the comments I've seen, right? It's just always negative. Well, not always. A lot of them are negative because it's like, well, no, everybody has this glute and you had to. Of course, we have genetics. You know what I mean? Genetics play such a big role. So I'm not trying to say when you do these exercises, you're going to have what the next person's having. You're going to build what you have. And that's just what it is, right? We're all different. Our bodies are different. And I feel like once you put in the work, you'll be able to see how that results show up. You know what I mean? I feel like when I showed you that before and after, a lot of people don't know this either, is that what you eat is not even equally. It's more important than actually going into the gym, because that nutrition aspect is gonna do the work. I'm telling you, because that's when I was going hard. I think maybe at the same level, but I wasn't eating how I was supposed to be eating. And that's when I wasn't hitting enough protein, right? It wasn't that I was eating junk. It was just the protein aspect. right? My supplement intake, like just a lot of my gut, you know what I mean? Like different things that I wasn't doing that I started incorporating. And now that definitely shifted the game for me. Supplements like creatine, that helps.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think genetics have a role in where you're gonna be at with when it comes to your glute, when it comes to your legs, when it comes to anything fitness. We're all different body shape, our skeletons, right? Like
Yeah.
we just have different, right? Because I have a hip dip. A lot of people don't know that I'm so insecure about my hip dip. I've shared this with you, right?
Uh-huh.
But it's something that I mean, it's just what it is. I have it, and the only way to get rid of it really would be maybe surgery or something, because you could build out like that side. People say there's no such thing as side glute, but the gluteus medius, right? That's right. You could build that out to kind of get that shape, but overall, like it's just what I have, and I have to just start loving it. You know what I mean? But
Yes.
you
Of your
can
body.
definitely put the work in and get the results. You just have to be willing and consistent.
Yes. So how often would you say someone should work? Because there's a misconception around that as well. Like I see, boom. So I see a lot of people going into the gym and they're like, I want to get a bigger chest. So they go and they just slam their chest every day. And women going to the gym, they say, I want a bigger ass. I want to go slam my ass every day. Like, what would you say is a healthy split for someone looking to focus on that area, but giving them an opportunity to build a healthy body and not just legs? You know, you can't just have super strong, healthy legs and not have a healthy body. What would be a good split for somebody looking for that type of structure?
Yeah. I mean, personally, like what I do, and I'm gonna just say what I do first, and then kind of give you my reasoning. Is I work out 5 days a week, and I do 3 lower body days because that's my main focus. But I do 2 upper body days, and on the 3 lower body days, I'm not just focusing on the same muscle. Like I'm not just trying to glutes, right? I'm trying to diversify where I'm trying to hit. So I might have quads and hamstrings. I might have glutes isolation where it's just I'm focusing directly on the glutes, and that helps a lot to really build whatever it is that you're trying to build out, whether it's each muscle in the glute, right? So I do focus on different areas, but I would say it really just depends on the person. But personally, I've seen the most results from doing my split, like a 5-day split, 3 days lower body, 2 days upper body. Some people say they don't have to, and you probably don't. I mean, I'm not here to tell anyone what you think works for you. But personally, me, 3 days lower body has been great for me.
I like it. I like it. Yeah, and I'm glad you said that because there's a lot of people who feel like they can just hit the gym twice a week, 3 times a week, and I always preach it. Like consistency is super key. Like you're not going to outtrain a bad diet, and you're not going to grow a body and accidentally get too big, or the accidental stuff does not really work with the gym. Like you really got to hit it hard and work hard to get the gains you want. So it's the level of intensity that you put into those workouts, and it's just being consistent.
Facts.
So speaking of a 5-day split, I want to introduce you guys to a concept that we're working on right now.
So dope.
Yeah, super dope. It's called Weightletics. So there's this notion that people who lift weights get super stiff, they get real, tight, and they can't move and be functional. And then you have the people who are the functional warriors who hit the park, they're doing the pull-ups, they're doing the push-ups, they're doing the flag poles, they're doing every move you can think of, but when they come to the gym, they despise it. They don't really see the need to get stronger in the sense of lifting weights, and I think it hinders a lot of people from being the best that they can. When you look at the traditional athlete or the superstars in any sport, they prioritize a weightlifting program, they prioritize an athletic program, and they combine the two. So if we want to achieve greatness with our body, we have to follow the principle of greatness, and we have to include everything.
Ooh,
so
that's fire. I love
you feel
that.
me? Like,
I love that.
That's gonna be the clip. Y'all gonna see this on IG. So when it comes to having that gold standard with your body, you never want to say, I only want to focus on this area. You want to go into it with the mindset of, my entire body is important. Every muscle plays a role. I want every muscle to do its job to its max capacity so my body can do what it can do at its max capacity.
Yep.
And that's the type of program we want to build. So it's going to be a 5-day split. It's going to consist of 2 upper body days, 2 lower body days, and 1 total body day. After each workout, we will also have some functional moves that you guys will progress through throughout the program or throughout the 60 days. And by the end of this program, you'll be able to lift a lot more weight. You'll be able to move a lot more weight. I consider those 2 different things. Lifting weight is moving weight with a form or just like a machine. And when I say moving weight, I'm talking more so athletic movement. So am I going to move this weight diagonally? Am I moving a person? How do I transfer that energy? So it's two different things we really want to touch in, and you guys are going to love the program. We are looking for a few trial subjects to try out the program.
Yeah.
So if you would like to be one, please reach out to us, and we will gladly get you into our chat that will involve all of our conversations about that. So I want you to give us one misconception outside of the glute aspect that people have about gym or nutrition that you would like people to clear up as well, or something that you felt like you struggled with in the past, and then once you got this down in fitness, your journey took off outside of nutrition.
Outside of nutrition, what would I say? Like, well, I think one of the biggest ones, I think you kind of touched on it though. You can't do anything by accident in a gym. You're not gonna get big. I think a lot of women, like, oh, I don't want to do upper body, or I don't want to do too much, or whatever the case may be. But honestly, you're not gonna get bulky unless you actually put in the work to get bulky. It requires a lot to get that big. So I feel like you should, in my opinion, as a woman, like, it's more than just the glute aspect. You want, like you said, a whole body, like, every muscle is important. So you want to make sure every muscle is getting the work it needs to, like, give you that sculpt that you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that's one of the biggest misconceptions, that doing upper body or focusing on upper body is going to get you too big, or whatever the case may be.
I like that. So, like, that leads me into my next thought. Like, plateaus are common.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when you are addressing an imbalance, you have to pretty much sit in a plateau. That muscle sometimes won't allow you to go further. There's times where you might hit a plateau in your squat and you don't know why. And then you start working on your hip stability, your hip mobility, and you're still strengthening your muscles in your legs. And when you come back to it, now you can get that lift. Or you may be really good at activating your muscle at the top of the squat, but you can't activate it at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So you would do movements that will put you in that position and force you to activate that muscle in that position. So one misconception that I want to clear up is, again, like, plateaus are super common. When people feel like their numbers aren't increasing or they aren't seeing results, like, visually, they feel like they aren't progressing in the gym. Like, progression can look like so many things. Progression can be like getting enough sleep now. Progression can be like,
Facts.
all right, I'm eating a little bit better than I did before, because now the time that you're spending in the gym is now more worth it. You're not wasting your time in the gym. That's progression.
Yeah.
Like, it can look like, okay, now my chest isn't super big, but I'm starting to see the outlines. Progression could be, yesterday when I did this move, or last week when I did this move, I got 4. This time I got 4 again, but it was a little easier. Progression can look like a million different things.
I love it.
It's so much to it, and you have to focus on the journey of it. And I feel like when people hit plateaus, that's when the consistency falls, and that's for anything in life.
Yeah.
When something stops, they're like,
They feel stuck.
Yeah, they feel stuck, and then they turn around and they revert to something else.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like when you get into a plateau, that's the time to go the hardest. And I feel like those times are much more important than the easy times. Like, anybody can work out when it feels good.
Right.
When it's sunny out, the weather's perfect, you can go running.
Exactly.
But when it comes down to you having headaches, like, I know it's gonna sound crazy, but I've worked out with headaches, and I'm like, if I do this workout, my endorphins are gonna kick in. It'll recharge my body. Like, I'm not the person that want to sit in the house and do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to let anything get in the way of my workout schedule, because, like, my personality is highly intertwined with my workout routine. If I am not working out, I will get depressed.
Yeah. No, for real. Like, when you seriously,
I would get depressed.
after you do it so much, you're like, man, if I go to the gym today, I'm not gonna have a good day.
Because you're another person. You're a whole different person when you're healthy and fit than when your body is in survival mode. Mentally, you can be in thriving mode, but if your body is in survival mode, you're gonna feel all those effects.
Yeah.
You cannot skip the effects of your body saying, like, I'm stressed, here's some cortisol. Stress this nigga out. Endorphins. I'm feeling good today. Boom. Like, I want to feel good, so I try to do as many things that wire my body to healthy hormones.
Exactly.
Like,
and mentally, that helps too, like,
Yeah.
tremendously, because besides the science, like, you're telling yourself that even on a day where I don't feel like it, I'm doing it. So you're mentally building up that discipline to keep. One of the things I love is, delayed gratification. So even though, you're like, oh, I don't feel like doing it today, or I'm not seeing my results right now, but every day you do this, that's what you're implementing, and that's the discipline that you're bringing.
Facts.
Yeah.
And it helps you, like, kind of, it's a keystone habit in my life.
Yeah.
Like, with fitness alone, it makes you want to give up so many other things. There's very few things, like, if I start eating better, it just makes me want to give up bad food. Don't get me wrong, it feels amazing, but I just want to give up bad food, and then everything else does get better. But when it comes to fitness, it makes you want to give up much worse habits. Like, I don't want to stay out late because I know I got work at the gym in the morning.
Yeah.
And that's going to affect that. I don't want to eat bad because, again, it's going to affect my gains.
And I'm going to the gym, right?
I'm going to the gym.
That's heavy. That one is heavy.
I don't want to spend my money on nothing else because I want gym clothes. I want to look good in the gym. So everything is just, it comes back to the gym. You start building your life around it, and then you just get a supercharged energy, and now you can help other people. People are feeding off your energy. Like, it gets contagious.
It does.
It gets super contagious.
Yeah, and then for yourself, too, it's like you build up that space to where when you start seeing results, like that addiction kicks in. You're like, man, I gotta go. Like, do you see what's happening? Do you see the gains after you done put in all that work, right? Like, we were talking about this a little bit. We were like, we don't want to focus on the results, right? They'll eventually come.
Yes.
And when they do, that's when it's like, whoa. Look what's happening. Because the other day when I did that video, I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know my back was like this. My back was coming in with some gains. I'm like, what? Right? But I just kept showing up. Like, I think Kobe Bryant said that on an interview. Like, just don't focus on the results. Just keep showing up. And it'll come, and you'll be shocked.
Super shocked. And with that being said, comparison is the thief of joy.
Facts.
Don't focus on nobody else's gains. Your journey is your journey. What goes into your mouth goes into your mouth. What's building your body is building your body. What you do is stressing you out and making you feel good. What they do is stressing them out and making them. It's so many different factors that come into why your body isn't where you want to be. You have to just go along with it, work with your flow. Yeah. If you got to slow down on the weights and do more calisthenics, then do that. If you got to stop the calisthenics and go back and shift their weights, then do that. Like, it's a flow.
You gotta explain to the people the calisthenics. Maybe these people don't know.
Yeah, okay. So with calisthenics, you're focused more on just body weight movement, like primal movement. Being able, can you crawl? Can you push yourself up? Can you climb? All the things that are technically related to survival. If you was in the jungle and you were running away from an animal, you're going to be running, you're going to be jumping, you're going to be climbing, you're going to be pushing. You're going to be pulling. You're going to be doing all these things to either attack, fight, or get away from something.
Right.
Things that strengthen those motions are pretty much calisthenics with your body weight. Then you got, obviously your core is involved with that. You can't do anything without your core engaging.
Stabilize, right?
Yep, to stabilize. And when it comes to the weight side of things, you're focusing on squeezing a particular muscle to its max capacity, and then you're going to lengthen it. So you got your concentric where you're contracting the muscle, your eccentric where you're lengthening the muscle. So you're just focusing on the movement pattern. That's it. Yeah. And when you can bring both of those together, you'll be able to move agile like an animal, but you'll also be able to move yourself as if you have the strength of the weights that you're moving.
Absolutely. That's why I love it so much. That's why I think this is such a great program.
It's going to be a fire program.
A fire program.
Fire.
Come on, like, you're going to have the best of both worlds. That's essentially what we're doing. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm excited. And they don't know this, but before we met, like, I was like, man, I really need to get into the athletic side. Like, I really need to switch up my training. And I'm so excited because we were, like, on the same page right off bat. So I think this was definitely divinely orchestrated.
No, real talk.
Because I was just like, and you've had that thing, too, where you said, like, okay, you were looking for that. You know what I mean? So I think what we're doing is going to be...
I needed that shit.
What we're going to be doing is going to be dope. It's going to be dope. I love it. And I'm excited for us to get on the program so that way we can show that it works. And like he said earlier, if you're interested in being, someone that does the 60-day program with us, so that way you can see that this program is going to be fire, it's going to work, and you're going to get results. So
you'll be in a chat room with us every week by week as we're doing the program. You'll be doing the program with us. So again, you don't have to be physically with us, but if you are in Las Vegas, you can pull up with us when we have our set times. You'll be in the chat room. And then at the end of the program, you guys will be made ambassadors as well.
Ooh,
so
yeah.
we just going to rock out. You guys get to be a part of a beautiful program that's going to grow and spread. And this is the very beginning of it. So that's super dope.
Yeah. We coming with a lot more. So,
facts.
We're not going to tell y'all too much right now. Just the basics.
That part. We're going to have a bunch of gear. We're going to have the glute bands, the T-shirts, the hats. I'm a big hat person. And I can't wait for the T-shirts. I think working out in your own T-shirt, it hit a little different.
Yeah, that's motivation.
Super facts.
This is Wayletics, y'all. Like,
Yo, the way Wayletics rolls off the tongue, Wayletics.
it's just fire. Like,
I want to see that in slow mo. Hey, can I slow mo that Wayletics? That's a commercial mode right there.
Right?
So another misconception I want to go into is progress isn't always linear. We talked about hitting the plateau where you're stuck.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the setbacks. Now we're going backwards.
Yeah.
If you get out the bed and now your back is hurting, that is not regression. You didn't turn around. You didn't get worse. That's a part of the game. You're going to get injured. If you're in the finance business, you're going to take some losses financially. If you're in the real estate business, you're going to take some losses.
Yep.
If you're in the fitness business, you're going to take some losses. A hurt back does not mean you took a step back. What that does, it gives you an opportunity to say, I'm going to focus on this muscle. I'm going to learn as much about how I can relieve this area. I'm not going to focus on nothing else, and I'm about to learn my body.
Yeah.
That gives you opportunity to really bond and connect with your body. Again, that's progress. You have to change your mentality when it comes to fitness. There are no setbacks unless you stop.
Ooh,
There are no setbacks unless you stop. If
Right.
you have an issue with the diet part, keep working out. Just fix the diet part. Don't say, I'm not getting my results. I'm going to stop because I can't fix my diet. Keep working out. Your body's still going to change. Not at the capacity that you would like it to, but you have to keep going forward. You roll your ankle. You got to sit out for 6 weeks. That's fine. You can still move your upper body. Do something. Just never stop. Like, setbacks are always going to be a part of this game. I don't care how it looks.
And that's what life.
What's
That's
life,
what
man?
life, period.
The gym is life.
The gym is life.
The
so
gym is life.
It's gonna happen. Just like you said, you can't stop. You can't give up.
So speaking of that, what's one of the biggest setbacks you've had so far in your fitness journey? Like, has there ever been anything that like derailed you from fitness and you had to struggle mentally and figure out a way to bounce back to it? Or was it pretty much a clear-cut path for you? Just once you got on it, you was hooked.
No, because honestly, if I'm going all the way back, it's been on and off. So I would say, like, the moment I got consistent, though, I've been solid. But before that, I was in and out. It was the mental space. I feel like the mental space is what hinders a lot of people because, or that mental, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people want to wait until it's aesthetically pleasing. I posted about that the other day. Like, you want to get the perfect gym this or you want the headsets. You want, like, you give yourself all these things that you're waiting on before you start. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's one of the mental things that a lot of people do. Or, oh, when I get my own space, or when I move, or when something, right? And it's just like, now. And that's what helped me because I started my consistent fitness journey when I was in the most uncomfortable situation. You know about
That
me
part.
going back home
That part.
and moving back with my parent. Like, you know what I mean? It
Yeah.
was crazy. So to think that that's when I started it, I'm like, well, if I could do it now, then I could do it in any level, like at any space
Talk
in
to
my
him.
life. You know what I'm saying?
Talk to him.
So I eventually got there and I just kept going. And then when I got my own place again and we were good again and life started, it was like, this is easy now. I'm showing up because mentally I did it hard. So now it's easy,
I like that.
you know?
So I'm about to drop a gem on him, and then I'm gonna ask you a question.
Okay.
So a quote that I like is the ears of understanding. No, let me get this. I gotta get this. The lips of wisdom are closed except to the ears of understanding.
Ooh.
Right? So my question for you is, was there a point in your journey where someone has said something to you that clicked, and you possibly have heard this saying or something from somebody before, but this particular moment, somebody says something to you, and it hit that switch, and you're like, I am never falling off with this shit again.
As it relates to fitness or life?
Anything. It can be fitness, it can be life, all of it works. Like, what was that turning point? Because it's always that one triggering point. Like, if you wasn't meant to hear it, you wouldn't have heard it or received it that way. So what about that moment and what was said that made you really want to go harder in life or in fitness or whatever it may be?
Oh, this is so good. And this is on spot. Well, honestly,
Raw and uncut, Ace Bodies, baby.
I was in the military. So I think I can't say maybe like on spot, but one of the things a drill sergeant said to me, this is when I just got in, and that's like the roughest, like your mind is getting conditioned to what's about to hit you. And I remember I was sucking, I was hating life. I was like, why did I even join this thing? And I had a drill sergeant who said, um, quit tomorrow. Quit tomorrow.
I see where he went with that. Damn.
He said quit tomorrow,
Okay.
and then when tomorrow comes, tell yourself you're gonna quit tomorrow. You just never stop. So if you because in the moment, if you quit in the moment, you don't give yourself enough time to realize you don't even want to quit. You know what I mean? So
Sheesh, I felt that.
That was.
Know what you mean?
That was
I felt
fine.
that.
Like for me, I was like, okay, Joe Sergeant, well, we gotta go because I didn't come all this way to the military, all the way in Missouri. Like I'm from Jamaica, a little tiny island. You coming up here in Missouri where I don't even know none of you people, right?
Facts.
And it's breaking me down. But he said, you quit tomorrow. When tomorrow comes, tell yourself you'll quit tomorrow. And I was just like, whoa, like that's different. You know what I mean? And
that's
I just
fire.
kept going. But yeah.
I like that.
What about you? Like you put me on spot there, Sam. Okay, so what you thinking?
Sheesh. I want to say I got a few moments. It wasn't really a negative connotation to it. I think I spoke about this a little bit in the first podcast, but when I was in college, I went to a community college called Hartford Community College in Maryland. This was in Hartford County. There's a lot of Hartfords. But we had the guidance counselor for like the black students. I mean, she did her job for the entire school, but she also ran the black student union portion of it as well. Mm-hmm. And her name was Miss Love. I'll never forget her, yo. Like, black lady, had dreads. I think she was from the islands as well. But she would always just come to me like, Sam, I don't think you understand like how special you are. Like, she would always come to me. Wow. She would like don't get me wrong, she showed love to all the other students, but she would always come to me and just be like, yo, Sam, like you're a special person. Like you.
Yeah.
Like you have to tap in. Like how far you go, everybody else will go. Like if you don't go, like it's not a lot of people are gonna make it. Like from where you are, like you have to do it. Like it's you.
Yeah.
And I never understood. She would just always come to me like, Sam, come to my office, watch this video, and always be about like Black history. It would always be about like just things that we go through as a people. It was in different facets. So I'm like, why is she always pulling me in her office? Like, why are you always bringing me in here?
Wake you up.
Yeah, like, but I couldn't even see it at that point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The lips of understanding are closed, except to the ears of understanding. Or however, y'all got it. The first time I said it was right.
The wisdom, yeah.
But you feel me? You feel me?
Yeah.
At that moment, it clicked. I'm like, all right. I feel like she's trying to groom me for something. Like she sees something that I don't see in myself.
Yeah.
Because after somebody doing that for so long, you have to just be curious. Like, what is it?
Yeah.
And then one day I asked her, and she was like, Sam, like, again, if you don't go anywhere, like a lot of people are not going to think it's possible to go anywhere because like they see your light, and if you're not going to make it, they don't even feel like they can shine like that. So they're not going to feel like they can make it. Like you have to like lead the way. Yeah. And she was like, watch, I'll make an example. She's like, one day while you're over there with your friends and you guys are sitting there, I'm just going to come get you and I'm going to call you into my office. I'm going to ask them to come, but then I want you to see how they respond. And then when you come, I want you to ask them to come in there with you. So we're sitting there, we just talking for like 10, 15 minutes. And then I'm like, hey, yo. I was like, Miss Love keep asking me to come watch this video. Like, y'all trying to come in there? Everybody grabbed their book bags, came in there.
Wow.
And I'm like,
influence.
Shit. I'm like, it was such a subtle moment because I'm like, they didn't have to listen to me. It's not like I had control over them. It was just the fact that they value what came out of my mouth.
Yeah.
And like,
and they looked up to you.
And they looked up to me. And like, the power of the tongue is super strong. And when you realize how much of a weapon it is, or how much you can use it in your defense to like build your life, that kind of was like an eye opener for me to say, damn, like what comes out of my mouth will actualize a lot of things I want.
Absolutely.
So maybe I'm not saying the right thing, maybe I'm not saying it the right way. I got to keep manifesting it because the words will always find you. Like you'll always find yourself in the right room.
Yeah. And
when it's your time, you'll always find the right words. And then when it's really your time, you'll find the right opportunity, and then you're going to be in the right place.
Yeah.
It all comes at the right time. It's like the lottery slot. When you pull it and everything start aligning, it's like bing, bing, bing.
Alignment.
You just feel it. It's just bing, bing. Yeah, you feel it building.
Yeah.
Like ding, ding, ding. And that last one spinning, and you're like, oh, it's hitting. Bow. Like that moment, gives you feelings leading up to that moment. You're like, damn, I made it.
Yeah.
But you feel it along the way. Like never ignore them feelings. Never ignore the process.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I learned something the other day from the gentleman who interviewed me, like I was telling you.
I seen that. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I did see that.
We went over time. I definitely talk a lot. I was like, okay, I'm learning, right? But he said something to me outside of that interview where he was like, it's not in, a master doesn't become a master on the day he becomes the master. Mm-hmm. It's the process. And he was like, you don't just get your black belt. You have to be first a white belt, and you have to go through all this. So he was already building up mastery, right?
Yeah.
Until he get there.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too. I think in society, like, who determines, like, it's the journey. So the determination will come in the process will have to happen before the day that you get the award ceremony of the mastery or of the thing or of, you know what I mean?
Yes.
You showing up in that way. But I feel like a lot of people want to skip that part, and you can't.
You can't.
You can't.
Imagine a first place winner that had no story.
Right.
I don't even think I would care if he had the first place.
Yeah, like what did you overcome?
Yeah.
That's the thing, and that's the thing I think about when I think about, like, my story. Every time something happens to me, I've built this up. And my cousin is witness. He should have been here today, but
shout out Kev.
Shout out Kev.
Shout out Big Kev.
But yeah, he witnessed this. I mean, because not a lot of people's around. My circle's small. It's just me and my family, and my cousin is here now and stuff. But I got to the point where when things would happen, and I'm not saying it's easy to just be like, okay, right? But I got to the point where I'm like, dang, well, another thing just added to my story. So this victory about to be real sweet. Like, once I get there, I'm like, the story that I'm going to tell, because at one point in my life, I was like, God, where's my story? Because I was in the military, and I would hear people tell me how they quit. They used to be on weed or drugs or whatever, and God changed their life around. And I used to ask God, where's my story? Because I felt like I didn't really encounter nothing. I was 18 when I joined, so of course I was young. And you said something about the power of the tongue, and I used to in Jamaica we call it salt, but
salt.
You're so salt, like you curse or something. And I used to self-identify with that, because your tongue, like, I'm telling myself that. If I'm telling myself I'm salt or I'm cursed or something's wrong, like, of course, then more things is gonna show up to basically prove the subconscious right.
Facts.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So I got to the point where I was like, I had to cut that out. But during that time, I really just realized there's something that I needed to switch, which was my self-talks. Going back to the tongue that you said.
Nice.
And stop talking about myself like that. You know what
Nice.
I'm saying? But yeah, I think I just gave you 2 in 1. But the whole point is, my cousin is a witness to the fact that I no longer let what is happening, if it's bad or whatever. I just got to the point where I'm like, well, I just added something to my story. So when I overcome, it's going to be fire. Like,
that part.
It's going to be a good story.
Now her narrative is 7-figure real estate.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? We out here doing numbers on IG, hitting 1 million views over here, proving the internet wrong, one post at a time.
One post at a time. We
man.
gotta get in there. Like, I'm telling you, like, honestly, that kind of shocked me. But you know what's so crazy?
What's up?
And I'm going to tell you this, like, I don't even know if I should say this, to be honest.
Hey, raw and uncut, Ace Bodies, let's go. Bring it out.
All right, so I'm a firm believer in God, right?
Yeah.
So I genuinely believe with God, everything is easy. And when I tell you, He will do things in your life, and He'll let it be known where this is my hand. He'll show you His hand. So that specific post, no lie, Sam. The ideas will hit you like a ton of brick when you let stuff go and when you give it to God. That just popped in my head. Like, okay, and then I was like, let me get a screenshot of this, add to it, and it just came like that. Like, I'm telling you, and I know it didn't come from me.
Yep.
Like, I can't sit here and be like, Sam, I had this brilliant idea. Like, I just know He just put that in there, and I did not expect it to do all that. Like, honestly, obviously, I'm trying to give value. I want to give value, so I felt like glutes is one of the things, especially with the allegations lately.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
The allegations.
The allegations, BBL allegations. But yeah, so I was like, let me go ahead and put this up there. But he just popped the idea in to the point where that was probably the quickest reel I've ever made. It was so like.
That's how it's supposed to work. You're right.
Ease.
That's how it's supposed to work.
I'm telling you, and it took off. And I feel like sometimes God will do these things where He'll show you what's possible with me, not the algorithm, not nothing. Just what are you doing with me? And that's why everything goes back to that connect, because when you're connected that way, the ideas come, everything flows, and not all the time, but you're in that safe space. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's my little story with that little reel, and a few of them on my 7-figure realtor page too took off. 100K views, and it's doing its thing. So
I'm popping.
Yeah, so I'm excited to like what's to come, because it's just all about value. People want value. We're all on the internet now. We want authenticity. I always with my accent try to say that word, but yeah, people want that and value.
Fire.
Yeah.
So another thing I want to bring up. So I talked to TT and JJ. I don't know if you met them.
I didn't meet them, but you were telling me.
Yeah. So they're ready to be a part of the program. They started a group already.
What?
And they sent me. They want to start a 21-day fast. they want to do plant-based for the first 21 days of the challenge, and they want to start Monday. And they invited me to a hold down. Hey, love, what you doing tomorrow? It's a hold down tomorrow.
What's a hold down?
A hold down is like cowboy hats and the shoes and the mechanical bull.
Oh my
It's a party.
gosh.
But they invited me. It's for somebody's graduation party, but they're getting like a big event going. So that's gonna be
That'll be
lit.
fire.
That's gonna be the day that ends the week, and we're gonna go into our fast. So I told him I'm down to do that.
I'm down to do a fast. I think there's different types of fast though. Like obviously, people do fast to like cleanse. You know, they say the cells rejuvenate and stuff like that. I'm not sure too much about the science.
Autophagy. I wanna.
Right.
I'll break into that.
The
But go ahead.
science, yeah. I'm gonna say, but my fast would be like I've done like from the Bible, like do a fast to like what you're giving up something. While you're giving that up, you're in prayer and stuff like that. So it's different types of fast and what you're trying to accomplish. But I'm down for a fast. I don't know about 21 days though.
Nah, I like the realness. Nah, like I want to help. Well, for one, I want to do it because it will help me achieve the next level of my goal with like health. Like now that I'm plant based, I want to get to the point where like 90% of the time I'm eating clean, and the other 10% I'm doing whatever I want. Like I still go to Down to Earth, and I still go get that pesto pizza. That pesto pizza got a hold on the boy.
Down to Earth is fire. Shout out
so
to Down to
good.
Earth because that mac and cheese.
I'm telling you, I was telling everybody like, yo, hands down, I don't care what your grandmother doing in the kitchen. Down to Earth got it.
They got it.
I don't care what she pulling out that oven. Down to Earth got it. So if you want grandma style cooking in Las Vegas, but it's vegan, take your ass to Down to Earth. Down the number 2 and Earth. I'm stamping it.
That's it.
It's stamped. It's stamped.
By Sam.
By Sam Bishop. With that being said, today was a great day. I appreciate you guys tuning into the Ace Bodies podcast. We drop a lot of gems. We have fun. We talk about health and wellness in different facets. So with that being said, I appreciate you, Shaquila, for coming on the show.
I appreciate you for having me.
Yeah, this was a great day.
It was.
And we out of here, baby.
Bye. All right, guys. Peace out.
All right, fam. Oh, yeah. Let them know your social media.
By the way, yeah, you guys follow me on social media, Shaquila Cahoon. There's no underscore, is there? It's Shaquila Cahoon. So it's ShaquillaColquhoun. And don't forget to follow the 7 Figure Realtor page as well. That one's easy. The number 7, and then the Figure Realtor page. Yeah.
Gang. And
All
y'all
right.
find me on Sambition _, or you can follow the Ace Bodies Wellness personal training page. Holla at your boy. I'm out of here, you guys.
We out. Bye.
Yup.